Hey there, this is Anthony Metivier from magneticmemorymethod.com. This is the channel for learning how to learn, memorize, and recall anything, as is the website, magneticmemorymethod.com. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you can use your memory to preserve your relationships at work, how to make everything better when you're working with colleagues, because this is an area of life that is filled with mistakes, mini disasters, and all kinds of trouble that can actually be curbed simply by having a better memory. So the first thing that you can do is remember people's names, not just their first names, but their last names and their middle names, and also use your ability to learn and memorize and recall names to attach other pieces of information. So for example, once you've learned how to memorize names, you can attach ages, birth dates, anniversaries that are important, different little things. Like if someone gets pregnant and has a baby, you can remember the day that that baby was born. There's a simple technique called the major method, and you can click for information about how to do that or look down in the description below. It's a very simple technique to learn. You can learn it very fast, and I'm using the word very a lot because it's very cool. Now, the other thing that you can do that I think is really, really important, in addition to memorizing names and facts about a person, is to also remember the things that people are telling you. Now, there's an interesting interview on the Magnetic Memory Method podcast with Jim Samuels, and he talks about using a memory palace or associated memory techniques along with a memory palace in order to memorize the details of an argument and how to be really calm and relaxed while you're doing this. Now, you don't have to do this in a scene of confrontation, but it certainly helps when you can repeat back to people what they said, what order they said it in, and really be in control and in command of the situation. Now, sometimes this will make you seem like a real jerk, so you have to practice tact around it because other people won't remember. And you also always have to accept that you may be remembering things the way you want them to be rather than how they were. And so there's a word of caution there. You can use these powers for good, but also for evil. So with great power, as they say in the comic books, always comes great responsibility. But it is something that you can do. You can be the one who takes responsibility for remembering what was said and in what context and what were the details around that. And if you're working in an office with people around, well, you've got a perfect memory palace right there that you can use to place details. The one thing that I would recommend, though, and you find this in a lot of memory trainings, is that they recommend that you attach information that you want to memorize about a person or associated with a person to their face. I really suggest that you never do this. And the reason why is that when you're looking at a person, you want to be looking at them. You want to look at their face, and you also want to memorize their face. You want to remember their face. But if you're following the common advice to exaggerate some feature of their face, then and you see, I don't know, Elvis doing something grotesque with their nose, or their nose is a giant vegetable that may be doing something grotesque to Elvis, this is not a respectful thing to do. Use the person's shoulder to create these crazy images, or use the plant in the corner behind them, or anything like this, because that's going to give you direct view into their face, which you want to memorize. And so I really, really caution this. And I've done some pretty crazy things to people in my imagination. I've set them on fire. I've hung them. I've had Lars from Metallica, the drummer, playing drums on the top of their head, but not the face, because that's the thing where you make connection with people, and you want it to be face to face, eye to eye, without these crazy images all over the place. And really, when you have something on their shoulder, you have something over top of their head, it's really cool, because just as you have peripheral vision in real life, you also have peripheral vision in your imagination and in your memory as you're looking for these crazy images. So those are some tips about how to use your memory to get along better with your coworkers and be the leader in your field. And I think the last tip, and it's the one that's most important of all, is don't keep these techniques to yourself. If you've come over to magneticmemorymethod.com, if you've taken the free video course and you've followed up with some of the podcast episodes and trained yourself, taken the training and then practiced the techniques, then you should pass them on. You can do that by sharing this video, clicking like on the video, sharing all the posts that you've found over at magneticmemorymethod.com, but also just simply telling other people what you've learned how to do and helping them do it too, because the more we can learn, the more we can learn. It's a perfect circle. The more you have in your mind, the more you can put in your mind, because you have more to associate. And that's a very, very wonderful thing. And we're living in an age where we're bombarded with information, but we're retaining very, very little. So just imagine what it would be like to be able to retain the very, very important things, and to do it all without an app, to do it all without a device, to do it simply from here and here, straight into another person's face without any obstruction. That's a very beautiful thing. So this is Anthony from MagneticMemoryMethod.com. Click like, subscribe to this channel if you're watching it on a subscribable platform, and come over to MagneticMemoryMethod.com, where you can definitely subscribe and get my free video course on how to build a memory palace. It's the most important memory technique in the world. Every other memory technique you can ever think of can be done inside of a memory palace, and you're going to love it. It's easy, it's fun, it's fast, it's effective, and it's super, super elegant, if elegant is your thing. Definitely don't want to get too messy with it. See you soon.